Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Here's your host, JB.
Hey, welcome back to a very long overdue episode of The Grind. I will tell you, it has been a crazy couple of months around here. As you can see, there's been some changes even where I setting and typically do this. So you'll see in the background over my shoulder here, there's a computer in a bigger room, and there a printer in a bigger room, and you might even see some of my daughter's horses and barns and all that stuff she has around on the floor in here. So lots going on, a lot to talk about. I appreciate you tuning in, whether it's live tonight on all the streaming platforms or later on one of the podcast platforms. Very long overdue, but I will tell you it's not because there's not a lot of good work going on behind the scenes. A lot of life changes for me and my family have put me in a different location now most of the week. So it's been kind of, most of the week. So it's been kind of hectic around here, but hopefully get settled into some sort of routine again, get back in front of you guys, bring the wrestling staff and the wrestlers on, and highlight the great stuff that those guys are doing in the wrestling room, because it's definitely needed, and I enjoy doing it and enjoy talking to these guys. So let's go check in. Without further ado, I think JMB is gonna. Wait a minute, there he is. Yeah, now we got you on there, Coach. Your name lines up with you. See, you don't do it for so long, and you get out of practice. I push a button, and everything doesn't happen the way it's supposed to happen on this end. But, Coach, you got a different background for yourself tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm in the new Bentley house. We moved in the new Bentley house in August, so happy to be here, and there's been a lot going on this last 6 months for the Bentleys as well. So.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time. I can't imagine being in your position trying to build a house in this crazy economy that we have going on with trying to find work and materials. So it's been crazy for me, but I definitely can't imagine being in your shoes trying to get through that, Coach. But it's good to see you. Good to chat. We've probably spent more time together the past few months than we ever have, but obviously not being in front of a camera together and chatting about what you guys are doing in the wrestling room. So good to see you back in front of the camera, get you behind the mic, and get the great things that's going on in App State Wrestling back out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be back on here with you, Jeremy. And like you said before, we got a lot of great things going on with our program right now. And, it feels almost surreal to be back to a normal, typical college wrestling season where we've had a normal preseason leading all the way up to competition starting in November. And this weekend we'll be at our third tournament in a row in November. And so it's feeling much more normal than in the last 2 years. So.
Yeah, it's good to see that. I stopped by last weekend. It was really crazy. You guys had the Mountaineer Invitational. I was leaving town. Our son just left the nest. My wife was tore out of the frame and had her daughter's birthday party on Sunday, as I was supposed to leave Sunday night to go report for the new job. So stop by. I tell you, it was great to see spectators in that varsity gym filled with wrestling fans and wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for us, it was great to have an event at home again and have all of our team competing in front of our fans, and just to have the competition that we had in Varsity Gym. I mean, we had some really strong Division I wrestling programs competing in the Mountaineer Invitational, and it was a great test for our wrestlers, and it was a great measuring stick to kind of show us where we are and what we need to work on, and just kind of get us in front of some competition and get to wrestle somebody else. So it was a good weekend. I thought our guys really. I was proud of the way they competed. Obviously, we're not where we want to be, but I think we have a better understanding of the things we need to do and the things we need to improve on to get to where we need to be.
Yeah, it was impressive to say the least. I talked to a few people in the parking lot Saturday, tailgating for the football game, which was really cool to have those events. I think we had a football or a basketball game. Was it Friday night, the night before the football game, then the night before the football game, then the football game, and then the wrestling match. So if you were an App State athletics fan, you had everything that you could consume in that weekend for sure. Spoke to a couple people in the parking lot, Coach, and they had no idea the caliber of competition that was getting ready to take place at Varsity Gym. Needless to say, I schooled them pretty quickly, told them how they can find out about all this great information going on, and met a couple of them there Sunday. First time they've ever been to a college wrestling match. First time a couple of them steps foot in Varsity Gym since they went to school there. They were impressed. I think we've got some more wrestling fans that will be back in Varsity Gym packing that place out.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to have fans there. I mean, obviously, it was a little bit different setting than our normal dual meet with all the fans and the intensity and everything kind of spotlighting on one mat. But, I mean, we had some really top-notch teams there. I mean, Arizona State's ranked number 3 in the country right now. And you know, after seeing them compete last weekend, I think it's very deserving ranking that they have. I mean, they had, you know, quite a few returning All-Americans and a lot of national qualifiers in that tournament, and we got to go to battle toe-to-toe with some of those guys. And, you know, I mean, we got to kind of see where we need to be and, you know, what the things we need to improve on. But, you know, we had every conference in America was represented last weekend in our tournament except for the EIWA. We had the Big 12, the Pac-12, the Big 10, the Southern Conference and the ACC, and the MAC. The only conference in America that we didn't have someone from was the EIWA. And so I think that's a pretty special opportunity for our program to showcase, you know, high-level college wrestling at the Division I level, and just another great opportunity for our fans to be able to come to the friendly confines of Varsity Gym and take it all in.
Yeah, it was impressive. One of the families that I had told about what was happening in Varsity Gym, we were actually in the stands at the football game, and my wife grabbed me on the shoulder and turned me around, and it was pretty loud there, but got from the conversation that the young lady, a middle schooler, used to take riding lessons through my wife. She asked her, you know, how come you haven't been out to the barn in a while? Come to find out, the young lady is absolutely hooked in wrestling.
Okay.
She's training with a middle school team and all of that. And I told her dad, you know, plan to go there. I'll meet you guys there. I'll buy your tickets if you guys need tickets to get in. Met him there. Coach, you've got one that is ready to step into your youth group camps and really learn something. That I was absolutely mind blown to see her. I mean, she took a seat Matt's side, and her dad had to go pick her up and say, it's time to go home. I mean, she was in awe of the talent, and to be there in that gym and to be able to witness what was going on those mats. So I will tell you, Coach, I see the smile on your face when we mention stuff like that, and I know that's a big part of why you do what it is that you do with those young men on the mat. But to take that, to see that effect on our local youth, to me is, man, I don't think there's anything that's better, to be honest with you. I hope that she takes that moment and takes it on and really tries to grow and expand in what she's doing. But like you said, bringing that talent to Boone, there's not too many things, athletic events that happen on App State campus that you get the top 4 guy and whatever it is that he's doing in college athletics that's competing here in Boone. And you had that this weekend. The really exciting thing for App State wrestling fans in our program is Caleb Smith was toe-to-toe with that young man from Arizona State.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Caleb had a you know, pretty nice tournament this past weekend. He won his semifinals match by fall over the guy that from Kent State that was ranked number 21 in the country at the time, and Caleb pins him. And then he has the returning NCAA finalist from Arizona State, Brandon Courtney, in the finals. And, it was a dogfight, and he came up just short. 6-5 was the final score in the bout. But I can tell you one thing: I'm pretty sure that when Courtney walked off that mat, I guarantee you that he's not looking forward to wrestling Caleb again. And that's what that's the only thing I can ask out of our guys is they fight from the first whistle to the last whistle. And if we don't get our hand raised, then we take something from the match and try to make adjustments and figure out how to do it better next time.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, at one point in that final match with Caleb and Courtney, Caleb had the lead 4-2, I believe, and ended up losing by 1 on an early escape in the third period. So it is like you said, Coach. That young man, Caleb Smith, in the 125. Man, that's going to be an exciting season to watch him if he keeps it together the rate he's going right now.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of different weights there that had a lot of high-level wrestling. I mean, 2 of the weight classes that just come to my mind, like at the 133-pound weight class, there was 6 returning NCAA qualifiers in the bracket in our tournament. And, that's and a returning All-American. And so, that just kind of tells you the strength of that tournament at that weight class. 149 had 5 returning national qualifiers in it and 2 returning All-Americans, 3 guys ranked in the top 12 in the country. And so, there was a lot of weights that were really, really competitive. And, I definitely think that it was a lot stronger than maybe our first event is on a lot of normal years. But I think for this team, it's what we needed. So.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. It's one of those things. All the way from, I don't care what the sport is, you go out there and you get competition like this early in your season, so these guys can see what level of competition is out there and compete at that high level. It's that old saying, iron sharpens iron, right? You get good competition like that early. I think it's going to bode well for what you guys do in the season. You go out there and get some snowball matches and some of those powder puff games lined up for you. It almost seems too easy, and sometimes I think it can prove that for a lot of people that start early in the season like that.
Yeah, I mean, this team's very seasoned. We've got 7 returning NCAA qualifiers, a returning All-American, 5 returning conference champs. I mean, this group needs to be tested every weekend. The goal is to produce All-Americans and take our entire lineup, all 10 starters, to the national tournament. And, we need to see the best teams in the country consistently to get those guys prepared to do that. And so that's what I tried to do with building our schedule this year. And, there's really no weekends off. That's for sure in this non-conference schedule. I mean, our guys are going to be pushed every single time out.
Coach, I think you probably said it, but there was 6 finalists from App State in that Mountaineer Invitational. Smith, Brito, Milner, Bond, Formato, and Fasella all were runners-up. 5 of those 6 losses to Arizona State wrestlers. So it definitely tells you the caliber of competition that Arizona State brought. But standing toe-to-toe to that competition with the likes of those other teams and other wrestlers on the mat is truly a testament to where that team is. Obviously, as you said, 7 qualifiers coming back from an App State record of 7 qualifiers has got to leave you excited going into this weekend's competition.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we don't train to be runners up. So we had 6 finalists, but it kind of stings when you don't win any of those matches. And a couple of them we got it handed to us. Wasn't from a lack of effort. Our guys, I thought, competed hard, but we've just got to make some adjustments and get better. And I think that's the great thing is from the first weekend of the season, our guys, we got tested and it kind of exposed our weaknesses really fast. And our goal is this weekend to be a better version of this team than we were at the Mountaineer Invitational. We're going to travel up to Philadelphia and see some teams from the Northeast that, frankly, we don't see a lot throughout the years. So we're going to see some new faces and some new competition, which will pose some new challenges. And I'm excited to kind of see how this team responds. I mean, my message to our guys this week in practice was just about being consistent. This entire year, we've got to be consistent. We've got to have the same effort every time we go out to compete, no matter who our opponent is. We've got to put the same effort together. And if our guys do that, we'll continue growing. We'll continue getting better.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup. People tune into the Keystone Classic. It's gonna be Sunday the 21st. It's an all-day event. It says they're streaming on ESPN Plus, so I'm hoping they're gonna show all the mats up there so we can really watch the competition and see what's going on. Coach, I don't know that we mentioned it or talked much about it, but it looks like there's been a little bit of a shift in the lineup as well. It looks like we got Cody back up at 133, and Caleb's looks like he's pulling through at the 125. So it looks like there's been another shift in the lineup a little bit this year.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb and Cody were originally kind of the plan was that they were both going to go 25, and early on in the year, Cody was, he got a little bit bigger in the summertime in the off season and was struggling to get down, and he came to me and we had a discussion, and he just kind of felt like that he would perform better and compete better at 33, and so he's going to go up to 33, and him and Sean Carter are going to battle it out. So it's a good problem to have when you've got two returning conference champions that are going to be battling out to see who can start at that weight class at 133. But I can tell you, like, I'm excited to have Caleb Smith in there at 125. I mean, he showed this past weekend, I think, that he's not going to be a pushover, and that I think the whole country will be on notice sooner or later, because that young man is he's very determined. There's nobody going to outwork him, and win or lose, you better be ready for a fight when you wrestle that kid.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season to watch him. It'll also be interesting to watch Cody Bonds, the Milners, the Britos, Formatos, Facellas. It's going to be good to watch all those guys that are coming back. The Flitz be a good one to watch again. It's going to be an exciting season. Going to be exciting to watch the Keystone Classic up there. Coach, do you have a list? I looked for a list on their website. Do you have an idea of the teams that are going to be up there at the Keystone Classic with you guys?
Yeah, just off the top of my head, like I said, there's a lot of teams up there in the Northeast. The University of Pennsylvania hosts the event, so they've got a really strong team. Rider University has a really strong team. We'll have Sacred Heart, Franklin and Marshall. George Mason's going to be there, I'm pretty sure. And trying to think of what other teams will be there from the Northeast. Drexel will be there. So I think there's like 6 or 7 teams at that event.
Nice. So will you be taking the starters up there, full team, whoever wants to go type situation, or is this the unattached guys, or how's this tournament going to work for the?
Yeah, so it's an invitational. Yeah, it's an invitational, meaning we take every guy that we take's attached, and we're gonna excuse me. We're gonna take 18 entries to this tournament. We're gonna take multiples at several weight classes. But we'll definitely take our starters and then a couple of guys. And we got a couple of weights, really. I mean, the competition is still open at a lot of weights. I mean, I would not say that we have defined who our starters are. I mean, I think we've got a really good start at kind of determining who they are. But as you know, we didn't have a black and gold match this year. I mean, pretty much we're going to base our starters based on how they do against, outside competition. So, this is all kind of part of the process. So, in those weight classes where we've got a highly contested battle, we're obviously going to have multiple entries at this tournament. And so, but yeah, we'll have all of our starters and guys that could potentially be in our lineup will be at this event.
Yeah, and that's not having the black and gold for our team, our program is not unusual, correct, Coach? Last year when we had it was more of an abnormal year than what you typically do. And I believe our conversation before about that was simply because of a lack of competition going into the season starting. So it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see 18 guys up there representing the black and gold and wearing that Block A and representing App State on that mat. Looking forward to watching some of that competition. Since then, this week, Coach, we've got some good recognition. These guys are already getting recognized on a fairly regular basis, and getting some recognition in the national news. What's the scoop on the rankings so far for our guys?
Well, I mean, I think, obviously when you return 7 national qualifiers, you would expect that they would all be in the national polls. And, we do have 7 guys that were ranked this week in various, media outlets as far as their weight class. But in our first 7 weight classes, all 7 guys are ranked in the, top 30 in the country in several different polls. Obviously, that really means nothing until the end of the season. The only thing that matters is the NCAA tournament. And so I keep telling our guys that. But I think for our fans and the supporters of our program, it just kind of shows the consistency that our program is starting to have, and that each and every year we've got a large group of guys that are going to be ranked nationally and trying to represent Appalachian State and make all of our fans and our alumni proud.
That they definitely will. Also, going into the preseason, App was picked number 1 and puts 5 on the preseason All SoCon wrestling team. 5 out of 10. That's pretty decent, Coach. I know those, as you said, preseason really doesn't mean much. It's all about what happens during the season and at the end of the season. But that recognition continues. So it's good to see those guys getting that recognition. Hopefully that just motivates them more to be in that wrestling room, working out, getting stronger, and improving their skills to really bring it. Because this could be a special year for this program and for a lot of our guys. I mean, I know you sent 7 of them last year. Just with the lineup that you see, it could be more than that this season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of wrestling left to take place this season. I mean, obviously it's going to be more of the marathon type season like we're used to in the past, where, it's all about keeping guys hungry, motivated, and keeping them healthy. And it's a really long season. And so I feel good about the potential for this team. But one of the things that we've been talking about is we're not where we need to be, and how do we close that gap? How do we get from where we are to what our capability is? And that is something we've talked a lot about in the locker room and in the practice room. And I mean, our guys know that we've got to get better. That we're nowhere near where we need to be or should be. And I think they're hungry and motivated. And I mean, there's a lot of people that I think still disrespect us quite a bit. Just as far as, acting like, that we're just kind of, a bottom tier team, so to speak. And so they're still motivated and have a chip on their shoulder, like they have something to prove. So
yeah, that's definitely good. Caleb got recognized as SoCon Wrestler of the Week, obviously for his performance there. And Intermat put in 7, all 7 of them, as you said, from 10 to ranking 10 to 30, with Milner at the top there at 10 and 149. Coach, that's kind of the App State way, right? You do what you do. You continue to grind, really, from our athletics department top to bottom. You and obviously the football program kind of all do the same thing. You guys just grind it out. You make it happen. You're always in the competition, no matter who you're playing, no matter who you guys are wrestling, and you're always there in the end. But one thing they can't take away from you is what happens at the end of the season, where you're there standing toe-to-toe, either for the conference championship or very close to the top of that list. So I look very forward to that this year and that season. I will tell you, folks, $45 is the best $45 you will spend on athletics in Boone this season. That'll get you season tickets to the varsity gym to watch what is going to be, and I'm going to pull this, I've got this schedule right here, December 12th, right? NC State will be in Boone. 5 days later, Coach, you've got UNC that's coming to Boone. And then you go on an away, January 7th, you got Citadel that comes to Boone. That'll be a good one for Coach down there to come back to Boone and get a taste of what he left. And then you got the 21st, again, VMI in Boone with a doubleheader. That's a doubleheader with Little Rock. So you'll have Boone or VMI and Little Rock in Boone on the 21st. And then on January 25th, we've got Gardner-Webb that comes back up. The Appalachian Open on the 29th. Then on February 6th, now that's at Chattanooga. February 13th, folks. Circle this one on your calendar. For the football fans out there, this is what we'll refer to as Hate Week. We've got Campbell that's going to come to Boone and get a taste of those boys in Boone on the 13th. And then, of course, the SoCon Championship again on March 5th in Boone at the Home Center. Coach, if people don't see the first two duels that we're going to have in Boone all before Christmas and don't want to be a part of that season ticket, I don't know what else we got to do to convince them. Because I can promise you the 12th Sunday and the 17th of Friday, Varsity Gym is going to be absolutely mayhem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're excited to have those two programs come in our home gym, and both of them will probably rank top 15 in the country at the time. I think it's great opportunities for our guys, and those are the kind of matches we get up for. I mean, I think that with our wrestling program and coaching here and being a wrestler here, I mean, there's a little bit of expectations. I mean, we're expected to compete against the top teams in the country and be competitive and compete for conference championships and produce All-Americans. And those are things that kind of, it's just things that we embrace, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I want our fans to expect us to win. I want our alumni to expect us to win and to be excited to come and watch us wrestle teams that it means something to compete against. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can build a schedule, but one of the things we do is try to build a schedule that our fans want to see and that prepares our guys for the national tournament. And that's what we have this year. And like you said, I encourage all the fans out there, if you haven't bought your season tickets yet, make sure you get them. It's the best ticket in Boone, and you're not going to want to miss these home matches this year.
And I will tell you what, if you don't hurry and get them, you're not going to get them. I have a very good feeling that both those duels are going to be sold out duels. And it may be season ticket holders, because $45 for a ticket, there's probably going to be a lot of people from NC State and UNC that just end up buying a season ticket so they can make sure they get in. So I would say if you're interested, in which you should be, it's going to be absolutely crazy. If I'm not mistaken, Coach, last year when we faced NC State, they were in the top 10, maybe even near top 5 at that point. And fans, if you don't realize it, we went to Raleigh and took 4 out of the 10 matches against a highly ranked NC State that ended up, Coach, what'd they end up finishing last year? Do you recall?
I think they were like 5th or 6th. I'm pretty sure when we wrestled them, they were ranked 4th or 5th as well.
Yeah. So I say that to say I trust Coach, and I can tell you right now, there's not a young man in that wrestling room in Boone that doesn't expect to win both those duels. That is the expectation. Taking 4 out of the 10 matches in Raleigh, I don't know how you can't be excited to be in Boone on December 12th to watch those duels, because that's going to be something. I'm definitely going to be there for that to take those in. It'll be a good time in Boone, and I tell everybody, there's a lot of football fans in Boone, Coach. There's a lot of App State football fans. Period. And I tell them, if you like the atmosphere inside a Kid Brewer on a Saturday when football's at home, you have no idea what happens in Varsity Gym with duels like this. You got NC State, UNC, let's see, what's the other one? Chattanooga will be a big one, but that'll be down there. And then Campbell coming to Boone. Those 3 duels in Boone are going to be wild. They'll all be sold out, but those ones will especially be kind of crazy. So looking forward to that, folks. If you're interested in those season tickets, like I said, you better go scoop them up now. Hey, if you're in a position where you just want to go and you don't have the ability to get those tickets, just shoot me a message. We always have extra tickets in my household. Not everybody is always able to go. I would love to get you in just to be a part of that atmosphere, so you can be bitten by the bug like I was my first visit to Varsity Gym to watch a duel there. So good stuff coming up, Coach. Man, I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for those young men. I've seen them out on the road during the off season, traveling to football games. Shook the hands of a few of them at some gas stations when we were passing and kind of heading the same direction as each other. Looking forward to seeing those guys compete, Coach. Anything else this evening that we haven't covered that you'd like to discuss?
No, I'm just, like I said, excited to get back on the mat this weekend and see where our guys are at. The only other thing I would mention is that the guys that we're not taking, because I know you asked me about unattached and that kind of thing, the remaining guys on our roster who are not going with us to Philadelphia will be competing at the King Open, which is which if you're looking for the results on that, you can see it on Track Wrestling, and that'll be on Sunday as well.
Is that Coach Rosa King?
No, it's King University over in Bristol.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a good one then. I'll look forward to watching that. So that's track wrestling. So this weekend you've got track wrestling and ESPN with the Keystone Classic. Looking forward to seeing the results from this weekend, Coach. I think we're set up to be a special season. If we can keep the injuries in check and keep these guys focused and motivated like I know they are, this could definitely be an exciting season for App State Wrestling.
Gotcha. I appreciate it, Jeremy. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Yeah, Coach, appreciate you. We'll be in touch. We'll do it again really soon. Hey, folks, all of this cannot happen without scholarship money. I know I beat this drum, and I'm going to continue to beat this drum until we get this wrestling program fully funded. It is my absolute mission to do everything I can do to get Coach Bentley what it is that he needs, and the biggest gap right now is scholarships. If you're an App State wrestling fan and you love what happens out there on that mat, just know joining the Yosef Club makes a tremendous impact on that availability. It's not a huge commitment. If you need a little bit more information, go to joinyosef.com. It's pretty easy, joinyosef.com. You can sign up right there tonight to be a part of the Yosef Club. What I think people fail to realize in the whole scholarship thing is this is what gives people like John Milner the opportunity to do what it is he's done. John, we've talked about him. We've covered him extensively. I'd like to get him back on an episode to do more. Really a very impactful story, and to know personally that you can be a part of that and helping young men like him and ladies accomplish what he's accomplished in a few short years of college athletics has to be fulfilling for you, because it is for me. Just knowing that you're a part of young people's lives like that and being able to provide those scholarship dollars means a tremendous amount for me. I will tell you, part of the decision for me to move on in my career is exactly that. Having the ability to do more for App State athletics and especially the wrestling team. So if you're interested in being a part of that, if you're interested to saying, hey, I've made an impact on these young folks' lives, go check out joinyosef.com, joinyosef.com. If you need more help or you just want to talk to somebody or need more information, never hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss it with you. I'm happy to answer any questions that I may be able to answer. If I can't answer them, I definitely know the people that can. So go check that out. If you're interested, sign up. If you need more answers, let me know. I'm happy to help. Appreciate you tuning in. We look forward to being a more regular part of programming hopefully here soon. As soon as I get settled in the new place and get something set up there, that I've got a little place that I can send this production out through. So appreciate you tuning in. Been a great night catching up with Coach. Definitely appreciate their time. You guys have a great weekend, and go Apps.